Welcome to Stephanie's List. I'm Stephanie Gadden, technologist and global citizen. Every episode, I open my contact book for a conversation with one of my friends. My career path has zigged and zagged through corporate IT, insurance, small business, a software startup, and many more. I always find myself making friends with the most fascinating and most unique people. So, who are these interesting individuals? Pull up a chair, grab a coffee, and settle in to find out more.
I'm Inge Flowers. This is Stephanie's List, and you're on it.
Today's episode, we jump straight into a conversation with my good friend Inge, who I went to university with. This is because we did exactly that when we spoke to record a conversation. I hopped onto Zoom, she was waiting for me, and we went straight into speaking as if we'd just seen each other the day before. So here's a snippet of our conversation, which lasted almost 2.5 hours. Enjoy. Crazy.
We definitely do.
Yes.
Nothing's changed, has it? Some things just kind of stay the same.
Yes, exactly.
Though I think if you'd have had purple hair back at university, it would have been really cool.
I have to tell you, when I told you that, when I sent you the WhatsApp message, I said, "Oh, I've got purple hair," and then you sent back, "I've always somehow seen you having purple hair."
Yeah,
And I looked at that message and I showed Trenton, and he looked at me and I said, "See, it's at least one other person who does know the real you." And I was like, "Yes, exactly." When I died at Teal, I was working at one of the local councils in a COVID response team, doing like IT training support for elderly people and seniors and stuff in one of their support programs. And I dyed my hair teal, showed up at work. My boss pulls me aside because she was worried I was having like a nervous breakdown, midlife crisis kind of thing. And I'm like, "No, actually, this is just me kind
being
of
me.
just being me for the first time in a very long time, and probably the real me for like ever, really. Like this is just me going, stuff it. Life's short. People are dying. I'm going to dye my hair."
You do really well. We do reach a point where it's like, okay, I've done enough of the let's do what society wants you to do
Mm-hmm.
and be well
Mm-hmm.
behaved and be the nice demure employee or business owner and
Yes, or
professional.
whatever.
And then you reach a point where you go, yeah, no,
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna have some fun now. Let's
Yep.
just do something silly or crazy or adventurous.
Yep.
You'll appreciate the story. Did I tell you about my trip to Japan?
No,
I
tell
can't
me.
remember. Fine. So in my life, the hubby and the daughter are the ones who do the various zooming around and travels and bits and pieces. So he travels for work and goes to all sorts of parts of the world. And the kid, through scouts and through school, has had huge opportunities to go to all sorts of places. So we just said, yeah, 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 go, explore
Mm-hmm.
the world. And
Mm-hmm.
then I ended up going to Japan for a conference. And I was sat there in Heathrow, and my head was saying, I shouldn't be here. I'm not the one that travels. I'm the one that stays at home. They're the ones that go off and travel. I should be back at home where I'm looking after the fort. And I kind of listened to myself thinking and went, oh, oh, you've become safe middle age, haven't you? So I kind of said, right, okay, every week I need to do something different. I need to
Mm-hmm.
get out of my comfort zone. So
Mm.
going to Japan was week one. And then I've done all sorts of weird and wonderful things. I went for a guitar taster course, and that turned into
Oh,
I'm
oh,
playing guitar.
awesome!
I've got an
Awesome!
electric guitar. I
Yes!
went, my hairdresser, my wonderful hairdresser that talks about sparkles and not grays, said,
Yes.
you should go diving with sharks. So I Googled
Oh,
it. And there's an aquarium not too far away from us where you can do a shark diving experience. So I signed up and went diving with
oh,
sharks.
I love that. I love that.
Sometimes it's something as prosaic as um, I don't know how to do something. I'm scared. I'm stuck with something. I need
Mm-hmm.
to ask for help. I need to ask for like somebody to
Mm-hmm.
coach me in something, and I'm going to get out my comfort zone and do it. And
The
you know
normal
what?
routine. Yeah.
It's so much fun. The other thing I've started is there's a company near us that does Wing Chun, and they do
Oh,
taster.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I'm
Oh,
doing Wing Chun.
awesome.
So at a
Cute.
grand old age of not
Yep.
26 anymore, I'm going, screw it. Let's go do Wing Chun classes. So there
Oh my
I am
God.
rocking up, and you've got all of these strapping young lads at the peak of their fitness, and
Mm,
me puddling and going, don't mind me, I'm just going to keep poking at things.
yeah, I'm going to just
So,
do my thing over here. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I love
yeah,
that for
and bless
you.
them. And it's actually quite, it changes the way you see things. It
Mm,
changes the way you experience things. Um,
mm,
and then I've also realized that when I read into it, when you expose yourself to different situations and circumstances, what it does is it increases neural connectivity and
mm-hmm,
myelination. So
mm-hmm.
simply kind of getting out of your comfort zone, doing different things makes you smarter
Oh, I love it. I love it.
because I
Yep.
I know our bodies are getting older. Well, technically, and our brains are getting older technically. I've just
Yeah, we're
heard
going to ignore
so
that
many
for a
people.
moment.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I'm just tired of people who go, "It's okay, dear. Your mind is going to slow down. It's okay, dear. Your body is going to slow down." And I'm sitting here going, "No,
No, no,
no, I
doesn't
refuse.
have to. No,
Don't
I
want.
refuse.
Yeah, don't want to
I
do
refuse.
that. I don't like that version of reality. I'm just
No,
going to do other things."
I'm going
Yes.
to do other things.
Yeah.
I got a motorbike
You
after that.
said.
Yeah,
No.
and that was basically because Trenton actually started riding a motorbike because he still had to go into the office at work, and he used to catch the train in. And
Yeah.
when there was, sort of density limits and the trains were crowded and everyone was giving everyone COVID and whatever, he just went, "No, I'm not doing public transport. I'll just take a motorbike in. Don't have to sit
Yeah.
in traffic. It's fine." And probably about a year after he got his license, his provisional license,
Yeah.
I mean, he could ride, but we'd never bothered. And about a year afterwards, I was like, I'm going to go for lessons. I'm going to go and do a 2 day, provisional license thing and get my learner's permit. I'm going to go. And he looks at me and he goes, "You are like, you'll be too scared of the thing. I mean, you know how I was always like anxious about
Oh.
stuff and shit." And I'm like, I looked at him and I said, "Do you know that I always wanted to ride a motorbike and my dad wouldn't let me because he was like, 'No, it's too dangerous and it's not a girl thing.'" And so I never
Oh,
did
I'm
because of
so
that.
yes, yes, yes,
And I
yes.
said, I always wanted to ride a motorbike, always, since I was a teenager. And you know what? Stuff it. I've got
Go do it.
blue hair. I'm going to go do it. So I did. And he watched, like, he was kind of cautious about the stuff and whatever. And I used to ride his bike, right, to practice the riding. And
Uh-huh.
he at that stage had bought a Yamaha, a little cafe racer. And I loved riding that bike, let me tell you. I'm a little speed freak. Okay. Like, whoa. But I'm too short to put my feet on the ground when
Oh
I
my word.
stop.
No, Steph, no.
So I used to ride the thing and just like yell in my helmet at the traffic lights, like, "Change, change, change." Because I didn't want to stop because stopping was hard.
That's why you were a speed freak, because you needed to keep going to stay
I need to keep
upright.
going so I didn't have to stop. And I can't tell you how many times I dropped that bike because I'd stopped on a slope that was kind of left to right instead of up and down,
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. Yeah.
my foot went down and the road wasn't where I thought it would be. And then me and the bike just went poof. Or it was just, yeah. And eventually after about the third or fourth time that I dropped the bike, but I wouldn't stop riding it. Like I was like, no, I'm still going to ride it. Trenton's Trenton traded it in for a bike that had a much lower seat, a BMW, which is now my bike. And he
Okay.
rode that. He rode that until he finished his provisional license, and then he bought himself the bike he really wanted. And I got
Okay.
his BMW.
Here's been
And
nice.
I don't know, because I don't know what it's like in the UK, but over here you get when you're on your provisional license, you have to ride a restricted engine motorbike. So like
Yeah.
they restrict the engine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's fine
So
with me. I mean,
I don't think it's a restricted engine. It's a maximum CC size.
yeah. So that's my bike now because, he bought it so I could learn to ride and I loved it so much. I was like, my bike. It's my bike.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
it's my bike.
Good. I used to
Mm.
ride my dad's scrambler on the farm.
Mm.
He wasn't best. My mum, no, my dad was okay with it. My mum wasn't best impressed when one of my boyfriends taught me how to ride a motorbike. And then I got
Oh,
home and Dad. And yes, I used to drop his scrambler.
yeah.
But that was kind of things like hill starts on a farm off road, and then the
Yes.
dog would like to chew the bike's tires because dogs in Africa just discipline
They're
doesn't
different.
exist.
Yes,
Yes.
they're a different
And then
thing. Mm.
my mum wasn't best impressed when I dropped it. And of course, I wasn't wearing leathers because you're on a farm in Africa and my jeans were too short and the exhaust and my ankle connected.
Oh,
But I was
ow.
like 2, 3 kilometers from home. I was at the farm. So
Oh,
what do?
yeah.
You pick up the bike, get it back up again, get it back running,
And
ride
off you
back
go.
home,
Yes.
park it up, make sure everything's fine.
Hmm.
Walked through the house. My mom took one look at me and said, "What happened?" I didn't answer her. Got as far as the bathroom and then I fainted
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
and had a lovely big burn on the back of my ankle for quite a
Oh,
while afterwards.
crazy.
It's not a ladylike thing to do. She wasn't best pleased
No,
with me.
no, that was my
But
dad's thing as well. Like, it's dangerous and it's girls don't do
hmm
that. I was like,
hmm
well, guess what, Dad? This one does. Now,
yeah.
crazy stuff. Crazy. So yeah, I totally get that whole thing where you just get tired of doing the things that you think everyone wants you to do, or you trying to fit in with things.
hmm
And like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
I would say it's like, I don't think I've changed as much, except possibly that I'm expressing more of it. Um, because I will tell you, my ADHD diagnosis completely changed how I see myself.
Uh-huh.
Completely. Hi, listeners. If you're enjoying this conversation, could you give it a comment or a like on whichever platform you're listening? Every engagement helps us to broaden our audience and take Stephanie's List conversations far and wide. If you don't already, you can also subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Thanks for your attention. Now, let's get back to the conversation. ADHD diagnosis completely changed how I see myself.
Uh-huh.
Completely. Yes.
In
A
what
bit.
way?
Um, I always thought of myself as so I was always super anxious. I was on and off antidepressants probably probably not long after we finished uni. It was when the serious meds started.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, and on and off anxiety, like swinging between an anxiety med and then going back to an antidepressant and like swinging between the two.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they just like the anxiety was like crippling, and
hmm
it got worse. It got worse through my 20s. When I was my most high performing in my corporate work is when I felt the worst because it was just
Yeah,
all
that's not a
masking.
good combo.
No.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was it was all masking. It was all like,
Okay.
and masking in the sense of like autism and neurodivergence where you're fitting in with what you think society would want of you rather
Yeah.
than, pretending to be something else.
But in the
And
meantime, placing yourself under a huge amount of strain for being
yes,
somebody that you're not, but not knowing that you're not supposed to
you're
be that
doing
person.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and
Yeah.
not knowing it. And as I started to get sort of 40-ish and onwards, I was thinking, yeah, I don't know. Something's not like there's a puzzle piece missing. It's not clear,
Okay.
with how my brain works. And I looked back over. my childhood, my life, what university was like for me and for you and for us and everything, and like what that was, that craziness. And I kind of just went, I wonder if, I wonder,
Okay.
and I did a couple of assessments and I did, some informal questionnaires and visited a few doctors and a couple of psychologists. And eventually I got a psychologist who looked at me and went, okay, let's just explore this for a minute. And I went, okay. And they went, what's going to change if you get diagnosed? I said, I'll know. That's the first thing. I don't know if that'll change anything in me or about me. I said, but like, what do you mean? Why are you asking the question? And they said to me, if you're diagnosed, and it is, and your anxiety is coming out of that, you will likely get medicated for the ADHD. Because if your anxiety is coming out of trying to mask all the time and not feeling like you're up to it, or not being able to feel like you meet the requirements of being
Yeah.
normal, right?
Yeah.
Then if we medicate you and you can handle things and you know why you do the things you do and why your brain is like the way it is, then you can probably come off the anxiety meds, and we can probably reduce your antidepressants too because you'll feel better. And I went, okay, so how do we do
What's the
that?
what's the
Yep.
downside of that scenario?
Like, what's it like? Like I said, what's the downside of that? And she went, well, no, there isn't really one anyway. So I think you should go and get a formal diagnosis. So the only way to do that here is to get a psychiatrist to do an evaluation. You can't
Okay.
diagnose outside of that. And at that time, thank you to our beautiful pandemic,
Hmm.
there was a waiting list for psychiatrists and psychologists. It was 2 years long to get in to, like, for that, specifically for
Nice.
adult ADHD assessment, because it was rated a lesser priority, and for obvious reasons. Like, I'm
Mm.
intelligent enough to look at it and go, yes, I understand, for obvious reasons,
Hmm.
below a lot of other things, like, all the mental health issues and the depression and the flow on effect of people living in lockdown for 2 years. And, all of
Hmm.
that was much higher priority. Plus, all the mental health professionals were burnt out from the pandemic, like they themselves had
Needed mental
done
health. Yeah.
needed help and a respite because they'd done like 3 years of, 18-hour days, 7 days a week, supporting the whole
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I kind of got it, even though I was a bit frustrated. But
Hmm.
eventually, I got formally diagnosed last year sometime, and
Okay.
started meds about a year ago. And whew, it's changed everything about how I think of myself as a person who's capable of things. Um, I mean, I'm pretty smart, chicky. Like, I'm not stupid. Uh,
Chemistry 3, Chem 3, I remember.
my God, killed me. But
Yes, but you
oh,
did it.
but
I'm
I
not
did
sure I
it.
would have done organic chem at third year
I'd done
level.
it. Yeah, but
You
I did
did
it.
it. Yeah.
I did it. Um, and but I realized a lot of things, like, that I only. I'll tell you this: I got through biochemistry because I was fascinated by how kidneys function. It's a typical example of a hyperfocus. I read, I read that section. There was a section in one of the textbooks
Hmm.
around the biochemistry of kidney, like kidney function and kidney
Hmm.
disease and stuff, and literally how everything all ties together and the whole thing. I read that chapter probably about 40 or 50 times over and over.
Wow.
I could recite
Wow.
it to you. I could have recited it to you word for word, verbatim. And I got into the biochem exam, and guess what was the essay question?
Oh, kidney function.
Kidney function.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It was
You
beautiful.
had your own host of angels then.
I'm telling you, because if it had been anything else, I would have been like, what is going on here? Because, I mean, the math was like just whew, over my head most of the time.
Hmm.
And so, but what I realized is I look back and I go, I always chose the thing that was hard, but I chose it because it was interesting to me. And that's how and ADHD brains are. I have a friend over here who calls them. She doesn't talk about people who have ADHD. She talks about people who have interest-led brains. We are fascinated by the things that fascinate us, and we go where our interests take us. And it's got nothing to do with necessarily capability, talent,
Hmm.
skill, or ease. And I'm
Okay.
like, yes, a lot of things fascinated me, so I did them, and then they turned out to be very flippin' hard. Like, why did I do that? That was hard.
Yeah, but I've reached a point where the challenges, the hard challenges, are the satisfaction.
I agree. I'm with you there. I am, because I also realize that it's part of the reason why I have this thing that people think of as a calm demeanor, like I'm calm and I'm good in a crisis. It's because unmedicated, the rise of the push of adrenaline in the stress pushes the dopamine up in my brain, and I'm at the level where everyone else was 10 minutes before the crisis. Like, and so I'm standing there calmly, in a corporate crisis going, no, we're just going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to, because my brain is turned on, basically. And it's just like, oh, yeah, okay, fine. We'll just do this. I'm so calm. It's okay. But now I know what it is.
Good.
And the psychiatrist is talking to me. He says, I have to say, he says, a lot of psychiatrists would say to you, there's no way you have ADHD. You made it through a degree. And you made it through a degree in what did you do? And I went, biochemistry. And he went, like, really? Come on, that's not, an easy subject. I looked at him, I said, yeah, but you don't know the noise in my head and the anxiety through
Hmm.
those years of uni that
Hmm.
you don't know what was going on inside me to get that, And he
Yeah.
looks at me, he goes, okay. He says, yep, tick, done. You've like massive anxiety that you mask is done. That's a symptom. Done. Oh, tick. I was like, okay. So I just I see myself now as like I've always been quirky, you know that. Like I've always just been
Yes.
a little bit left of center, you know, or maybe a lot. I don't know. Um,
Not a little bit, Steph. Definitely not a little bit.
I've
But then
always
let's face it, neither
nobody
of us
is
have ever,
no,
no, neither of us have been the well-behaved, let's just do what everyone
no,
wants us to do thing.
never, ever, ever, ever. And um, so I've always been that little bit of quirky, but now I'm going, stuff it. I'm going to embrace the quirky. It's me. Like it's who I am,
Mm,
Bloody hell.
mm.
I mean, I did 15 years of corporate life with, the Jennifer Aniston haircut and the corporate suits and the things, and just wasn't me. Like the work wasn't the issue. It just wasn't me. I felt like I was wearing a suit of armor, corporate lady suit of armor.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. So
yeah.
yeah, now I work from home and I do multiple different things. I have
Which
what I
I
call,
can.
you can see.
No, 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 no. I'm just saying it suits your personality better rather than just having one thing to focus on.
Mm,
The Steph I knew way back when,
too many years
it
ago to
just,
name.
yeah, should we just say it was 3, 4 years ago? Yes.
Yes, yes,
Mhm,
I
mm,
agree with
yeah,
that
yeah,
number.
yeah,
Mm.
perfect. Um, just having lots of little things to keep you busy and then jump in one, get it done, jump to the next.
Hmm.
I can, in my head, you'd be bored doing only one thing and that one thing all the time and
Absolutely.
unstimulated. So, yeah,
A-
doing
Yeah,
lots of things makes sense for me.
absolutely. And yeah, I've found, a few little passions and niches that have held my attention for a good 4 or 5 years continuously, which is a revelation, let's say.
Ooh,
I was like, whoa.
ooh.
So yeah, I'll tell you there's not much I regret in my life. But
Mm,
there's one thing that I did think of um about probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I suddenly was like, oh, I remember when I don't know if it was Deloitte or KPMG, but one of the big consulting firms came in to hit us up at uni for, you know, recruitment and whatever. And they wanted to speak to all the science students. And of course, I don't know if you came with me or if Chris. came with me. I think it was
I
maybe
don't remember.
Chris.
It might have
You
been
don't remember
Chris.
that? Yeah, it might have been
Mm.
Chris. And off we went, and they were talking to us about being software developers and basically pitching to us that doesn't matter what science degree we have, they'll train us. As long as we've got a degree under our belts, it's fine. And as long as they know we've done the science degree, we have the right kind of thinking, to do
Hmm.
this work. And I remember looking at them and thinking, I'm going to cure cancer, buddy. So no, that's what I'm going to do. And I look back at that moment. That is probably the only moment in my life where I go, could have made a better choice there because where I've ended up,
Is
I'm in
doing exactly the same thing. Yeah, I'm going
doing
to
that.
challenge
Yeah.
you on that one
Mm,
because if you'd gone, well, I wanted to cure cancer, but let me go into software development. What would you have been? Really early 20s? Giving
really
up on
early
your
20s.
dreams at that
Yes.
age is
Yeah.
way, way, way too early to give up your dreams. Wait another 20 years before you give up on your
Before
dreams
you do
and
that,
go
yeah. No,
before you
I
do
have.
that. Okay, well, I've tried
Yep.
to solve the world's problems now. I'm just going to have my little
Focus on me
business.
and have
Yes.
have my own happiness. Yes. I
But
agree with
also
you.
you've
Yes.
taught yourself or you've learned it your way, your
Mm,
route and your parts of the interest.
mm,
Whereas if you have got ADHD, it may have been that they would have tried to teach you and force you in a certain direction that you
mm.
wouldn't have ended up where you are. So yes,
Oh, absolutely. I do. Yes. I know. I know
yeah,
what you're saying. I know.
yeah. I think for me it's kind of I did a science degree. I ended up in doing quite a bit of business management, and I sometimes wonder, what if I'd not done a science degree? But then I think I would have still. It kind of swings and roundabouts.
It
There's
does.
no
It
right or
does.
wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it is the only one I look at, and I wouldn't say regret's probably a harder word than
Hmm.
the feeling, but it's that moment where you look back and go,
What
"Oh,
if?
could have, I could
Yeah,
have."
yeah,
But I agree with you because I wouldn't be who I am without the life I lived, and I don't think I would have had the same life if I'd
no,
made that choice. I
no,
don't think so.
no.
Um, and it just, all the interesting things that have happened, I think, to both of us, like through that journey. Because I also look back and I
Oh,
go,
interesting is such a politically correct word.
listen, what's that insult in one of the is it in one of the Terry Pratchett novels where he goes, may
May
you
you
live in
live.
interesting
Yes,
times. Yes.
it's a Chinese curse, or
Mm.
it's a proper Chinese.
Something. It's
I
like
think
a
it's
yes.
Chinese. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
May you
Yeah.
live in interesting times. Oh boy, have
Oh
I
boy,
lived in some interesting
I've
times.
yes.
Do you know what
Yes.
do you know what's the actual that complete kicker on this?
Mm-hmm.
Steph, we're only halfway through.
I know. I know. I look forward, I actually look forward to the rest of my life now in a way that I think is a little bit more different to what I did as a young
Yes,
20-year-old. Like
yes,
as a
yes.
20-year-old, I was gonna do amazing things and I was gonna do this and I was gonna do that and I was gonna be that person. And now I sit and I go, oh, I am so happy that my podcasting mic arrived. This has made me very happy. And I go out and stick my hands in the dirt and I have a veggie garden. I go out into my back garden and I plant my veggies for the next season or the next, harvest
Hmm.
or whatever. And I come back in with mud all over me and I'm so happy. And I'm just, yeah, this is success. This is great, you know? And I think back to old corporate Steph that was trying to run the world at like
Yeah,
24 and like,
yes,
oh,
yes.
but she was so anxious. It's like, oh, I wish I could tell her to just chill a little bit, you know? But anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
There's a couple of conversations I would have with the younger version of me.
Mm,
Um, Anxiety wasn't really an issue. Hers was actually probably more entitlement. It's
mm,
like just stop complaining quite so much. Get your head down and get the work done. Stop
just
bitching
do
so
it.
much. Just
Mm,
get the work done.
mm.
But yeah, so my latest thing is who do I want to be when I grow up?
Oh, I love it. So, who do you want to be when you grow up?
So there's the going back to the Wing Chun,
Yes.
the Shifu said that it takes 20 years to become like the equivalent of a Dan, which
Okay.
takes me into my late 60s.
Hmm.
Steph, how cool would it be to become a Wing Chun Shifu or Dan or whatever it is, age 60
Oh,
something, playing electric guitar?
I love it. Anyway, I think I better go and sort out some dinner. I'm getting some cat
Mm,
looks.
I should possibly go and have some breakfast.
Maybe you should feed
Maybe
yourself. Yes, maybe. Let's do this
go have some
again. I'm
supper.
dead
Yes, yes,
serious.
yes, yes.
Let's do
Gotta
this
do
again.
this.
I hope you've enjoyed listening to the conversation with Inge and myself. I certainly enjoyed the 2.5 hours that we spent that flew by when we did the recording. You can look forward to some more nuggets and insights in future episodes featuring myself and Inge Flowers. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow us or pass along the links to your friends. In the next episode, you can expect to hear a happy conversation in a crowded space between myself and another fierce and fabulous woman in the printing industry who is award-winning and supports everybody around her. Until then, this is Stephanie's List, and you're on it. Thanks for listening.